Imagine being a bright student, full of dreams, stepping into one of the most prestigious universities in the world. You are ready to seize your future, only to discover that the journey ahead will be far more sinister than you could have ever imagined. This is not just a story about academic struggle. It's about something much darker, an invisible force that threatens to destroy a life filled with promise. A young brother full of hope leaves India to pursue his studies abroad, but almost immediately something feels wrong. The excitement and determination slowly gives way to an overwhelming sadness, a heaviness that words fail to describe. Every day becomes a battle, not just with the demands of his studies, but with the haunting presence that follows him everywhere. He's anxious, deeply depressed, but no medical report finds anything wrong. He can't even muster the courage to call his parents back home. And each night, his room becomes a horror show. Familiar faces from back home appear, distorted and twisted, in terrifying hallucinations. They aren't real, but they feel real, enough to make him dread the night. And while his friends sleep peacefully, he is caught in a nightmare that refuses to end. He begins to wonder if he's losing his mind. But how could he explain these things to anyone? Desperate and feeling utterly alone, he turns to the only place left, the internet. After hours of searching, he finds us. With a glimmer of hope, he books an online Ruqyah consultation. And during his session, his suffering finally gets a name: evil eye, black magic, and jinn possession. Why had this happened to him so far from home, and why at this point of his life? As we probe deeper into his life, shocking revelations surface. This wasn't the first time he had been afflicted with these spiritual ailments. They had followed him since childhood. But why? Why would anyone curse an innocent boy? And just when we thought we had uncovered all there was to know, a chilling detail emerged. The campus itself wasn't safe. One of the buildings, abandoned and unoccupied, would frequently catch fire week after week. Flames appeared without explanation. The university's investigations yielded nothing. But we knew this wasn't a simple fire. It was something far more sinister. As if that wasn't enough, strange sounds began to fill his room. Unnatural, eerie noises. It became clear that the jinn haunting him were not just wandering just like that. They had a purpose. They were there to study. Yes, you heard it right. They were there to study. And these jinns were students present in the university too. The discovery was mind-boggling, but it led to an even deeper understanding. The evil forces affecting this young man weren't just random attacks. They were part of a calculated plan to stiffen his life, his progress, and even his fate. Every black magic spell was aimed at destroying a different part of his existence, his education, his relationships, his very peace of mind. The young brother was just not battling unseen forces alone, he was in a spiritual war zone. But Alhamdulillah, through Ruqyah, Quranic treatments and relentless faith, we fought back. The Quranic ayahs for protection were recited, and every time we recited the ayahs of the Quran, each dark spell, one by one, started to break away. And the jinn inside the body, we commanded them to leave by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The young man, once lost in the darkness of his mind, began to see the light again. The hallucinations faded, the sound ceased, and the brother regained his peace. Alhamdulillah, the nightmare finally ended. The brother emerged from the ordeal stronger, renewed by the power of faith and Ruqyah. His mental and spiritual health restored. He could focus once again on his studies, his prayers, and his life. What had been an invisible, silent torment became a journey of spiritual healing, reminding us all that no matter how dark the storm, with faith and right guidance, there is always a way out by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why should this story matter to you? The question is, what if it was you? How would you handle an invisible force trying to dismantle every part of your life? And how would you fight it when no one believed in you? This story isn't just about one young man's battle. It's a reminder that unseen forces exist, that they can strike anyone, anywhere. But it's also a story of hope. It tells us that with trust in Allah, the power of the Quran, and the right guidance, even the darkest battles can be won. What happened to this brother could happen to anyone. Are we ever truly safe? Keep watching, because in the next episode, we will reveal just how deep the rabbit hole goes and what more sinister forces might be lurking in places you least expect. The truth is always far stranger than fiction.